Ready?
Yeah.
All right. Hodl, hodl,
Hodl,
hodl.
hodl.
Save,
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 save.
save.
Build a, build a, build a. Sound money.
Sound money.
All right. It's ugly old ghost. Ghost?
Goat.
Ghost.
Goat. The goat.
Goat.
Ghost.
And with Jesus this morning.
Yeah.
So,
We're having coffee, guys.
yeah. And I made
Good
got
morning.
that good
Yeah,
vanilla
we
coffee
got the
now.
good vanilla
So,
coffee. So.
any rate, sorry we're late, but it doesn't always work out. And we have been busy. Oh,
Yes.
I was going to ask you, which is, we can do a little bit of business here now. We were asked to. We haven't been keeping up on converting those Medium articles to the. Is it? Are we catching up now?
I'm catching up on that. It's
All right.
not as easy.
It's
as
not
it-
as easy. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
There are a lot, and it's
and I
takes
just I've just my problem is when I write it's so much easier on Medium that's a habit that old ugly old goats change hard.
yes, they do.
So we're gonna do a read through today, and I thought it was you got the. It's about 5-1 that people think we should embrace legal. Got a good reaction on that. I mean, it's really a good issue, guys, and it should not be a divisive issue. I hope that's the only thing that was bothering me is a lot of people were making it. This is the point of divide. You're anti-Bitcoin if you don't support the.
Oh, here it is. This one.
Yeah, that one. Okay, so we got a pretty good response on 279 votes, but it turned out 5-1, which 5-1 people they think we should embrace illegal tender, and they had some good debates on it. I think particularly if you check the thread with Giacomo Zucco, because he responded absolutely not, and then they had a pretty good dialogue on there, and I followed it. I really enjoyed it, and then somebody, I guess Jimmy Song, I missed that one, but he addressed it, and I thought he maybe answered it the best.
Right.
That is, you can probably find that on go look at the notifications up there. Do you know how to do
Up?
that?
This one.
Yeah. Scroll down. Let's see. Yeah. So.
I don't use Twitter much, so you guys got to give me a minute. So scroll down.
Yep.
Okay, let me know when.
Right there. Right
Okay.
there. Yeah, he said, and Mira liked that tweet. He says, with everything what Jimmy said with everything what Jimmy said the other day was perfect. Paraphrasing, in a perfect world, there would be no legal tender law. But since there is one, making Bitcoin legal tender is good. That's a pretty balanced view. And Mira is Zuko's wife, so I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
okay.
she's the real spokesman anyway.
Oh,
Well,
that's nice.
this is my family at any rate. So, and I thought it was, and the other thing too, I think that should be made clear. We've declared legal tender in the Constitution. We define legal tender as
Right.
gold and silver, but we didn't. Just because you declare it legal tender, doesn't make it legal tender, and we never. We lived without law for a time, and then we, over our history, we threw it away. So, anyway, I think it's a great. It's going to be. We're going to have a panel on that. Oh, we could before we go into the thing. We want to invite everybody to the Bitcoin Standard Conference. That is going to be one of the issues, and if you can pull that up. And that's going to be a great panel. Tone Vase is going to be the moderator for that. And so it looks like, we might have it all resolved before the conference. I don't know, but I doubt it. But schedule.
Schedule.
Yeah, hit schedule, conference schedule. There we go.
There
So
we go.
scroll down. I think it's the last thing they're going to have there at.
This one.
Yeah, Bitcoin legal tender. Should it be embraced or abolished? And it's a great panel. We've got Jimmy Song, Guy Swan, who I've never met. We have Mira is on that panel. Bitcoin mechanic, and Joachim Book. And I know they have a variety of opinions because I know, I think pretty much, I'm not going to say because they all have their own opinion. I don't want to speak for them. But one of the things that I've kind of encouraged the speakers to do on this conference is if they're on a panel and they like the issue, they want to write a position paper, it would be great. A lot of scholarly, when they have these conferences with scholars, the I retire guys and get together, that's a lot of times what they'll do is present their papers and discuss them. We won't have time to do that, but I think if somebody, there's articles there that can be addressed, and some of these I have addressed, and so that's why I decided on this read through today. Scroll down again. I want to show the difference. Scroll up. I think it's about the second one. Keep scrolling up. One more. Okay. One of the topics is going to be the difference between Bitcoin and the Bitcoin standard, and I thought I'd written something about that. So when my memory isn't always the best, so I always the thing about Medium is I can put in ugly old goat and the difference between the Bitcoin and the Bitcoin standard, and voila, there was an article I'd written about it. So that's what we're going to read through today. And you know what? Before we even get going, I have one more thing I want to share. Can you pull up one article that caught my eye, and I responded to it. I sent it to where you told me to. I sent you the link.
Okay.
I think the ugly.
One. Oh,
There.
this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bitcoin has to die.
Okay.
That caught my attention. And this guy is a really anti-Bitcoin.
There we go.
And but guys, these issues can't be ignored. It's kind of like a Marxist or a communist. Okay, a Marxist or communist, their whole ideology is they're going to pick apart whatever is wrong with society. They will find a legitimate problem, and then blow it up. And I think this guy's fairly intellectually honest. So but I thought that some of what he was saying is, he says Bitcoiners are a toxic community of angry people who hate everyone. Well, I know that's not true, but we're
not toxic.
Well, but sometimes we come across really wrong, and I do think we have to be careful. Now, I mean, I agree with on this thing. This one saying, and I know it's really kind of hilarious and
have
so,
fun
but
staying
poor. Have fun staying. That's not the end. And I know there's too many that I care to mention that want to use that, but guys, there is legitimate criticism. And I mean, you're fine. Yeah, I believe in free speech, but that's not helping the cause when you. Because it kind of finds offensive, and so I respond to very few articles, but I did respond to that one. So go and look at the responses, and you can see what I wrote. And I don't know if you got to go responses. Yeah, that's it. I think they'll pop up. So stay safe. There it is.
Here it is.
Hey, you have some valid criticism, especially in this article. I've read some of the others, and what is it? That meme, what is it? Have fun, stay poor meme, which many of us despise. I don't like it at all, and I don't follow many on YouTube. But some of your views are spot on, and keep doing your homework. There's a lot out there you don't understand on why Bitcoin is unique, but we are one. We are one as far as the crypto world. He lumps all the crypto world together with Bitcoin and really doesn't recognize the difference. And then I just suggested to him, hey, you know what? If you really want to attack Bitcoin, the best way is for governments to start supplying sound money. And even Saifedean Ammous said, it says, hey, you want to attack Bitcoin? Restore a gold standard. That will be the best attack you can have. And I think jurisdictional risk and jurisdictional freedom is going to be the movement of the future. And that's why I don't know that, show me.
Someone else did respond here. Look.
What's that? Yeah. Well, and there's a debate in there. I mean, I read the opposition. There's no reason not to, and they're. but there's no reason to go out there and now at times it is. If somebody, and I distinguish between somebody that really doesn't know and a bit, the worst in the business are people that know better and they're still out there scamming. So, yeah. Okay, well, let's go get through the article, and I just want to bring all that to your attention, guys.
Here we go.
And yeah, because we tend to do that. I mean, that's the thing that bothered me about this legal tender thing. And George Selgin, he wrote a very valid criticism, and he was attacked as being, a Bitcoin hater. Well, he's not a Bitcoin hater. If you've read him, he's not at all. So we just got to be careful because there's no reason to I believe in polarization when it's called for, but we create it a lot of times without any cause or justification. So that's kind of the difference that I hope this Bitcoin Standard Conference is going to be. I want it to be a place where we can have heated, lively, in-house Bitcoin debates, because there are differences, and that's what's going to be cool. I mean,
It's going to be really cool.
it's going to be really cool.
It's going to be a good one.
And
a lot of good topics.
not only is it
being
going
brought
to, we want it to be the best conference, but I want it to be the best content ever. And so I want to get.
the content will be there. I know
Oh
that.
yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
we've got
content will
no,
be there.
it's
I know
just
that.
that's
I know that.
All right, so Bitcoin. This is the Bitcoin. So here's what I wrote about it, and what is the difference? And this is my view, and it certainly isn't gospel, but the question can best be answered. And again, my background is in the gold business, so what's the difference between gold and the gold standard? That's the way I addressed it. And and there's some picture of gold as jewelry. Some people think of gold as jewelry. There's a vein of picture of a gold.
nice.
Yeah, that's in Dubai. We're gonna be going
Dubai?
there.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
we're gonna be going. I
wow.
can't. I'm not.
Wow. Oh yeah.
I'm not
yeah.
a big. I'm a millionaire, but not one of those six-figure or even five-figure ones. So. But so I won't be shopping for that. But we still. And he says the goat lady still likes to get her little trinkets, and they're not cheap. Okay, we all have an idea of what gold is, and these ideas vary depending upon our background. The prospector will have a vastly different understanding of gold than the typical fiance shopping for a wedding ring in a jewelry store. And there's a vein of gold, so you can kind of see people look at gold different, and a chemist or a physicist will have a different understanding of gold than an economist. Okay? And a chemist uses gold differently than an economist, and of course, no two economists ever agree on anything. So economists never agree. Gold, Bitcoin, legal tender, what is sound money, or should money even be sound? A lot of people don't believe in sound money, and they're honest about it. No, we need inflation, but we're not of that camp. We're of the anti-inflation camp. I consider inflation the greatest swindle in the history of mankind. And I learned that from my mentor, E.C. Harwood. Now, my point is we all have a different idea of what gold is. While the element of gold is a known constant, the ideas that impute value on gold are vary widely and change constantly. The idea that gold has value as jewelry is not intrinsic, but it's imputed in the marketplace by men and women making choices. The idea that gold is valued in some electrical components is not intrinsic, but is imputed by the manufacturer and users. The idea that gold is regarded as a store of value is not intrinsic to gold, but is imputed by the holder. That is what makes the gold market, and that is why the value of gold relative to other things is constantly in a state of flux. Our congregate idea of what is gold changes over time. And then I wrote an article. I linked some of my past articles because I'd addressed very early on the myth of intrinsic value. But what happens when gold becomes the standard of value? A gold standard simply means other goods and services are measured and priced in terms of the current value of a fixed weight of gold. Using the gold standard as the standard, or using gold as a standard, credit formation develops. What this means is that while gold can be used as cash, in practice, because it is the standard, it is rarely used as cash except in unique circumstances like the California gold rush, where gold was plentiful and all other commodities were clear. This is a very extensive article that I did when Roger Ver was first promoting Bcash, and why I consider him stuck at Sutter's Mill. And frankly, a lot of these arguments in this article apply to the movement now, the legal tender movement, that somehow we're going to bank the unbanked and bring remittances to the poor. Maybe. I'm not completely discounting it. I think it's highly unlikely, extremely unlikely, and I think that the next move on Bitcoin will actually be not from the poor that are unbanked, but from those that know how to produce, have produced, and basically entrepreneurs. And the shift is going to be, the next big use case is going to be productive entrepreneurs that have no Bitcoin learning how to use Bitcoin. There are just two kinds of entrepreneurs in this world, those with Bitcoin and those without. And as we move along here, I think it's going to be the entrepreneurs that figure this out. And it's really as an entrepreneur doing business with other entrepreneurs, it's really our task to educate them because they're the ones that are going to pick up the ball and go with it. And that's also why I believe that the big demand in the future is going to be on exchanges and banking, at least, is being able to collateralize loans, collateralize other assets using Bitcoin. That's my view. That's what I see coming. And I may be wrong, but I just want to make it clear because at least everybody knows where I'm coming from. So while silver, nickel, and copper coins with the face value of gold circulated widely along with banknotes and merchant credits with the face value of gold, gold coins rarely circulated. I mean, you can study it. They did not circulate. Governments provided a valuable service by providing coinage of lesser metal with a face value of gold, like silver coins or nickel or copper coins, and this raised legitimate revenue by providing a valuable service to the marketplace through seigniorage without taxation. It's a way that the government can function and raise revenue without taxing its citizens. Their reward is what's called seigniorage, and that's the difference between that face value and the cost of making the coinage. And while merchants and bankers provided the valuable service of non-inflationary money expansion and subsequent contraction by practicing the lost art of commercial banking. It was not the governments, it wasn't a federalized banking system that evolved. What happened was merchants recognizing what they needed, created money ex nihilo. Well, it wasn't really quite ex nihilo. It was created from the new goods they were producing that were being offered into the marketplace. As those new goods were then sold, then those notes were retired. It's called self-liquidating commercial paper, and it's a way of the marketplace actually regulates the money supply. Money expansion and the contraction were determined by non-inflationary money creation with a face value of gold representing new goods and services being offered in the marketplace, including gold. And that evolved organically like Bitcoin, and then slowly, one step at a time, they nationalized it. And that, if you wanted a little outline on that, you can go to that link. That's E.C. Howard's The Lost Art of Commercial Banking. That was what woke me up to what sound commercial banking is. And Colonel Howard called it a lost art. It means it's lost. We've forgotten it. It's not that we have to relearn it. And that's what we're doing now. We're in the process, I think, I hope, of relearning sound commercial banking. Just as smart Bitcoin hodlers today know not your keys, not your Bitcoin, gold owners of yesteryear knew only physical gold in hand was the real deal. Anything beyond possession of physical gold required a trusted third party. Yeah, and there's Harwood gold piece. I actually made those back in the day, and starting to. Yeah, that's right there. Yeah, and when I said, you know what, we first honored his institute, and then I said, you know what, I want to keep doing this. We'll put sound commercial banking. You know how to grab that, right?
Yeah, on the sides. On the side.
All right. So that's it, and Which, yeah, if you look at Twitter, did you see that? Did you see those pictures of those gold coins?
Oh, actually,
I was on
I
Twitter.
saw them on the Gmail.
Yeah, wasn't that?
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
wow, they're
wow.
really
I put them on Twitter. You
Oh,
can show.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
You can go look. This incredible. I have a friend of mine. He might probably be coming to the conference, but he has been collecting my all the old gold standard coins, and they're absolutely. Yeah, I put it down there somewhere. There they are. Yeah. So wow, a collector friend of mine just sent me. Let me read that. Okay, he just sent me this message with these photos. These are the only certified GS Gold Standard Corporation metals in existence. I just got them back from ANAX, and that's the oldest grading service and the only one that certifies metals. Metals, because they consider metals and not coins since they're not a government issue. Amazing. After 40 years, they got 69, which is the second highest grade. 70 is perfect. And yeah, so scroll down. I had two tweets. So there's the gold. Yeah, back in the day. Yeah, I was doing these, and that's and there really are. I mean, this was a quality. I mean, we put a lot of effort in this, and it was the highest quality. It was Roger Williamson who did it. Yeah. Now that's the platinum. Now, yeah, but that's not quite the quality. This is good. I did a different mint for that, but this was platinum. And then go back and look at the gold. The one that's really great. Well, they're both good. I like, yeah. Go back up. Check those other two. Just hit the pictures.
I'm not really too good with Twitter.
Just hit the picture. They'll pop up.
Oh,
There you go. Yeah, that's just. He said, yeah, and that he says that one's just his favorite. Do you see the detail? Now that's a proof coin, guys. If you see that frosted image, that's from a double strike. That was struck
is that
twice.
what it's called? Double strike? Or
Well, it's a proof. That's what makes it. That's our definition of a proof. Okay.
right.
There's a whole history in coinage. It has a reeded edge, which another thing that was a thing that was added later on to eliminate clipping. There's F.A. Hayek with denationalization of money, and Don Ailes was the artist of that. He was really some good artwork.
These? Really?
Yeah, we actually. That's what I used to do before you ever knew. When I
wasn't even born then.
Yeah, I know that.
No, I was born when this one came out. That was like 36 years ago.
Yeah, well, my first one was 1979. So, I've had it's been fun, guys, and now you can understand what.
I mean, I can't.
Now you guys can understand why I loved.
Nice.
No, it is. This is. It's not for sale. This is, if in fact that's why I'm buying these up, because I know they're going to be collector's piece. That is $1 million coin.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It will be very shortly, because people are recognizing. I know what I did, and that's why I say I'm amazed that I'm here and alive. I'm so happy to be here.
Make an ugly old goat coin?
You can. I'm not going to go do it though. It's a lot of work. I'm out of that business. Somebody else can do it. I'm just going to have fun.
I'm not saying for you to do it. I mean, but it can be done.
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh yeah. There's companies that are out there. I was looking up Roger Williams Mint. They used to be in Attleboro, Massachusetts, right close to Grand Barrington. But now they're moved to Ohio. I think a different family owns it. But I use them because nobody could no private company could meet their quality as far as their coinage.
Really?
Yeah, and so they weren't. Yeah. Okay, so let's continue with our article. We got sidetracked there a little bit, guys, but I mean, I had to share that with you because, man, I mean, it's. Yeah, it's a kind of a little feather in my cap. I brag about a little bit. Guys, I blew it up. I was not financial. That's why I teach money management. All these, life's hard. I don't, life's hard. That's why you got okay. Okay, this principle holds true regardless of what standard is adopted. So, it doesn't matter what standard it is. Value is imputed. It's not intrinsic. The U.S. dollar standard derives imputed value from legal tender laws. And which I also was going to mention, legal tender is part of our Constitution. So that's something that I think the discussion is really a worthy one, because Ron Paul a lot of people advocate that we eliminate and again, agree with Jimmy's song. In an ideal world, we would not have legal tender. But even when we declare something legal tender, doesn't make it legal tender because, gold and silver were declared legal tender in the U.S. under the U.S. Constitution, and it didn't take long for us to get completely away from it. So the U.S. dollar standard derives imputed value from legal tender laws for the satisfaction of tax obligations, government contracts, and the idea of full faith and credit of the United States government. Yet, despite forecasts of a cashless society, cash remains the most frequent method of payment in the U.S., representing roughly 31% of consumer transactions more than electronic credit, debit, or checks, and is growing. I think that trend is growing. This was written a few years ago. And this trend will continue so long as dollars are plentiful and consumer goods are dear. But when it comes to paying taxes, receiving entitlements, or concluding contracts, these obligations are met through a sophisticated dollar credit system.
Is how they print the money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty. Printing money is a whole lot easier than stamping gold coins, believe me.
Right.
In much the same way, we all have a different understanding of what Bitcoin is. Developers have a much different understanding of Bitcoin from a user, and the non-Bitcoin user has yet another understanding. And then there are those who have never heard of Bitcoin at all, and that's at least it's a non-understanding, so you can't eliminate them. Yeah. Okay. Some of the imputed value of Bitcoin is that it is unconfiscatable, cannot be counterfeited. Spending cannot be reversed, it cannot be devalued, and it is digital rather than physical. There are many more imputed values to Bitcoin, but just as most of the imputed value of gold was unknown to most participants on a gold standard, we can reasonably expect the same as the Bitcoin standard emerges. What the crypto world does not grasp is that if their favorite coin becomes the standard, it will no longer serve as a peer-to-peer cash, but as a settlement currency. Once gold became the accepted standard for world trade, its use as a peer-to-peer cash became nearly nil. While gold could be used for cash, in practice it was rarely used for cash once a gold standard was established. The emergence of the Bitcoin standard will likely follow a similar course. Again, guys, this isn't locked in concrete. Maybe Bitcoin's the exception, but if we look at monetary history, it's most likely that Bitcoin will not be cash. It will be a settlement platform. As much as we love Satoshi Nakamoto, the idea that it's going to be a cash system is probably... I think it can be a cash system, but it will be emerged by the merchants. You don't need a blockchain to do it. It can just that's how it emerged before, and I think that's most likely how it will emerge again. That's why I still am skeptical about the Lightning Network. My question isn't that it's not faster and useful and all that, but is it really necessary? And that's what we're going to be finding out. So, those who expose the crypto world fallacy were labeled as haters or maximalists. And so I refer to other articles here, why according to F.A. Hayek, Bitcoin's the standard, why I'm not a maximalist. These are all other articles. They kind of dovetail into my point here. Excuse me. Rather than compete on the Bitcoin standard, these haters of sound money pay unavoidable lip service to the truth that Bitcoin is the standard. And incidentally, that article, scroll up 2 things because that's emphasized because actually that's what...
This one?
No, one more. This article here, that one up there, when I said Bitcoin is the standard, and there's a picture of that article. That one, right? The square box. That one right there. Bitcoin is the standard right there. Yeah. Really, yeah, if you haven't read this one, read this article because actually this is where I'm coming from. And I think Selgin is a Hayekian too. We're not looking for Bitcoin to become a world reserve currency, but rather we think it will compete in the marketplace. Now, I think I'm not too dubious. I think it's going to succeed in that. I don't think George Selgin is much more skeptical. But
Is a non what? How do you
non
pronounce that?
sequitur, it makes no sense. Uh, so
A new word.
yeah. It's a Latin word.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah. So then you can scroll down. It goes to his article, and I'm not going to go into that now. I've gone into it plenty of times. But basically, F.A. Hayek, he actually calls. He says we're going to have a competing standard that's going to compete with money. There'll only be one. There won't be competing standards, and it'll be used as settlement apart from governments, which is exactly what's going on right now. I mean, maybe gold will be used, maybe Bitcoin will be used as cash, but it's not. Guys, I'm running this conference. I'm not using Bitcoin Cash to pay for anything. I'm not paying any of my.
Wow. That's a nice.
Yeah,
600?
yeah. That's,
All right. So.
all right. So
where
go back
were
to
we
the other
again?
article. Go back.
Oh, to this one.
No, Bitcoin versus where we were.
Yeah, right here.
Okay. So scroll down and we can resume. Yeah, I'm not using it. In this conference, I'm using my credit cards. I'm using fiat dollars to pay for things.
That's good, right?
I mean, I have some suppliers, but it's only a small percentage of my business is on Bitcoin. Why?
Very good.
It makes very little sense. I want to be hodling my Bitcoin. I don't want to be spending it. All right. So you can scroll down because we covered all this
Oh, rather
already.
than
Yeah,
complete?
yeah, we've done all this. Go down a little bit. Okay. Whoops, he went all the way
Yeah,
down the
all
bottom.
way down. Yeah, I know. Where were we? Right here.
I'm not sure. Yeah, well, I'm no longer. Okay.
Rather.
Okay, just as a deep understanding of gold is not necessary for our gold standard to flourish, a deep understanding of Bitcoin is not required for the Bitcoin standard to flourish and to emerge, nor is it necessary for Bitcoin to be widely distributed in many hands. For the most part, only governments, banks, and the wealthy owned physical gold under the gold standard. While the poor and middle class were certainly free to own gold, few actually did. Rather, the general populace owned gold, banks, notes, merchant credits, and other derivatives based on the gold standard issued by trusted third parties. This is what that may not happen. Maybe Lightning is going to be the way, but I think this is probably going to marketplace will finally say if the cash does exist,
Right.
it won't have to be through a blockchain. It can be relatively easy done and provided by trusted third parties or a network of trusted third parties just using a regular ledger. Circulating coinage was made of lesser base metals like silver, nickel, and copper with a face value of gold and redeemable in gold. While gold coinage existed, it was not widely circulated. Hodlers are the new merchant bankers. As hodlers grow into mature entrepreneurs, so too will a merchant credit and banking system without borders. That's the difference, guys. The Bitcoin allows us to do that all without borders. We're not locked in. Yes, you have property in a jurisdiction, you pay taxes in those jurisdictions, you agree to the laws of those jurisdictions, but you can keep a substantial part of your wealth in outside of any jurisdiction, and you can use multiple jurisdictions. And so, just like under a gold standard, we can expect the masses will shun direct Bitcoin ownership in favor of easier to use Bitcoin credits, notes, chits, and other derivatives. This is the new frontier of sound money, sound banking, and the Bitcoin standard. That's my vision, guys. Now, I could be wrong, and everybody has their own vision. And a lot of the stuff that's going on in Bitcoin, they're the same issues that were being addressed 50 years ago. There was a wide, first of all, very few people really understood the gold standard. And there were a lot of schools back then. I mean, there just were. There was, we had the debate over fractional reserve banking versus fixed reserves versus 100% reserves. And in my view, I don't think, Murray Rothbard really, he never understood the gold standard, I don't think, because he understood a gold exchange standard or gold because he actually, I called him out on it at the time, and I called him a gold socialist, and boy, it got a knee-jerk reaction from him, and I get a letter out of the blue from Milton Friedman. So, because it did hit home, and that's where we are right now in Bitcoin. We have a real problem. People that really, it's rather pretentious to want to force our ways with Bitcoin, and so we have to be very, very careful in what we're doing. And my biggest, I want this thing in San. I want to be going to San Salvador and check it out, but my objection has never been what they're doing down there, but rather I think it was not well thought out, and maybe I'm wrong on that one. That there seems to be people think that there's been enough exceptions and some results to make it all work out just fine, but I don't, and I do think it was unseemly the way it was done. But that's my view. And if a major and I already heard from people down there that, what are you guys coming in here running our country for? So,
People don't like it.
Well, that's
some people. Well,
it's a political.
degree,
it becomes
right?
a political
Right,
football.
right,
That's
right,
what
right,
it is, and I'm not. I just think what we got to be really careful on the way that we do it. I don't. If we'd have had a major
sensitive
monetary, if Mexico would have announced a major monetary policy and then announced it, at a trade show in Los Angeles. I'd be upset as a Mexican.
Yeah, I would too.
Now,
Like,
I
what?
know the Bitcoiners were all cheering. Oh, this is great, but you bet. Maybe it's great for Bitcoiners, but is it really? You're
Right.
you're not reaching the people. You're not. The message is poorly presented.
Yeah, that is true.
That's the way I view it. So, I don't want to discourage. I mean, I watch Jack Ma. He seems to be a good guy. I like the passion. Whether this is another kind of a Roger Ver thing, I can't say it's not, because it's I'm just not on the bandwagon to bank the unbanked. I don't think that's where the growth is, and I certainly don't think it should be done through legal tender. But like I say, it's not an ideal world, and so if it was a perfect world, then we wouldn't have legal tender. But since we do have, it's an imperfect world, and we got legal tender, it may as well be Bitcoin. I think Jimmy put it pretty well. It was a pretty balanced way to look at it. All right, well, we are done. Thanks for, I hope I didn't bore you guys too much, and want to invite you to come down here to the adventure tour
Let's
to
share
the
that.
to the conference and to the carnivory dinner.
Let's see. Here we go.
Yeah, the price is
There it is.
$19.95. Okay.
Check out there we go. Check out packages.
For the whole package. I mean, you got get
all
this
the way down.
individually,
This is
but
standard.
you're right. But a
extras.
complete package, which we
package.
recommend, is $19.95. But you can get a 15% discount, which takes it to $16.95. That price will go up. I'm not sure of the date. Tentatively now it's the 6th. Maybe we'll extend that till the 10th or something, because I want everybody to have a chance to get it at these low prices. And then we're hoping it will open up and we'll be able to sell more tickets. So we've got a VIP package, and if you really want to support what I'm doing in here, you can really help us out that way. That includes for 2 people. The other one, you do have a room for 2 at the Lucerno.
Right.
If you go, you're gonna pay a little bit extra if they want to go to the ranch with you, and if they want to participate in the adventure tour. But this includes everything. You'll be staying at the El Cielo, which is a 5-star
Oh, you went there yesterday, right?
No, I don't need to. No, I'm not.
Oh, you're going today?
No, I don't need to go. I can. I got to pay a deposit. I can do it remotely. So, so
All right, so that's that. Oh, and then we got the
adventure tour. Oh,
here we
you
go.
and you can hit it, guys.
we
if
got
you-
the workshops.
Right. Let's forget. Yeah. Let's hit the. We'll show them how it works when you order. When you order, you can hit anyone.
Oh,
if
buy a
you
ticket.
if you like a particular, no, hit the panelists.
There we go.
So
My
they
bad.
get the way they get the discount is this way. Just
Oh, okay.
hit one of their pictures, and you'll get a 15%
Let's
discount.
say
Who you want to support?
like-
Yeah, say David Puel. You want to support?
Okay, let's say you like Juan Galt.
All right, Juan Galt. There you go. There you go.
And there's his little mini
Yeah, and then
schedule,
go
if you
says
will.
register for conference right there. Now that's going to give you. Now you're just taking there, and all you need to do is there it
boom,
is.
there it
That
is.
code, that's his code, and you'll get
Yep.
a 15% discount. So that's kind of a unique way of marketing this because I want a variety. I want the speakers to promote what they're doing,
So
and
you like Derek.
yeah. Wall check. We've
think-
never had. You go him. Scroll down. Yeah.
there he
I think
is.
everybody's got a code, so we're good to go. So we're ready to promote this thing.
No, actually, we're missing a couple emails.
Are we?
Yeah, Shibley sent me an email.
Okay.
I mean, a telegram. I'll send it to you, and then.
Okay. Well, most of them are up there.
Right.
You know, if you
But
want,
we do need a couple
my
emails.
pictures up there. You can actually support me too. But
Yeah.
but I'm.
Right there he is.
Yeah, there it is. So, and I think they have me on all. I'm not on all those things. They got to correct that. I'll have to go up there and see which ones I'm on.
And there it is.
There it is. All right. So that's how we do it, guys. And now go down to the
Here's the adventure
workshops.
tour.
Yeah, well, let's do the workshops now. If you want to
Okay.
come, we've got these workshops going on, and programming blockchain with Jimmy Song. It's the 2 days before the conference, and it's not cheap. This is like $4,000. You get a discount if you order it now, and you do have to be knowledgeable in Python. He will not take you as
Yeah.
a student unless you're.
Actually, here's I think this is the little test.
Yeah.
He
Right, but that's where
There
you
it
sign
is.
up for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Complete all this,
Right.
and then
And you'll need to get accommodations for another day to do that. If you need that, we can. You can do it
and
on your
then
own. Or
we have Giacomo. Is that how you pronounce
Giacomo
it? Giacomo
Zucco. He's going to be doing how to
Giacomo.
running Bitcoin, and this is $1,000. I want to do this one. I'm not going to be able to because I'm going to be at the conference. But I talked with Tone Bays yesterday. He plans on being there for this. So, guys, I do encourage you if you want to ever want to take this class from Giacomo, this is the time to do it because it's going to be at the
There
Bitcoin
he
House,
is.
and he's going to be there.
That's a nice watch.
Yeah, teaching everybody how to do it, and it will be in Tone Bays will be right there learning with you, so you'll get a little extra face time with him. So
It's nice.
yeah, all right. And then the last thing that we do, which we hope you can stay past the conference. After the conference on Friday, we go out to the Horsepower Ranch. We have a little bite to eat. Hopefully, go to bed early, or if you want to stay up all night, you can do that and play poker. We'll have a place to play poker. And then the next day, that's what we'll be doing, and we'll be running
on
these
the
cars.
racers.
And
Yeah. Make
yeah.
sure to bring
and we'll
outdoor gear, if
Yeah.
you will.
and I've been told we can do 200 people if that
really?
many come. Yeah, well, we can only get 100 so far, but if we can open this thing up, we're ready to go.
Look at that.
So
Ugly caught with the bottle in the hand. That's why he fell in that pothole.
all right,
There he is.
man, okay. Well, I think we're done. Guys, order your tickets now because I do expect it to sell out, and we will be raising the price. Once it does sell out, we're hoping it'll open up and we can get more people in, but it's not open yet, but we're very hopeful that it will open, but the price will be higher, and it will be substantially higher. So please order your tickets now, and we will see you in August.
Yep.
And
We will see you Tuesday. Monday's a holiday.
oh yeah, but
Yeah. Oh,
not for me.
wow. So
Not
we're
for
coming
us.
into work.
Yeah, I'm thinking we probably have to, because it's not
What?
Mexican. It's not a Mexican holiday. It's a U.S. holiday.
Exactly. I thought we had the U.S. holidays off. Isn't that what you said?
You
said no Mexican
you can,
holidays off. Yeah.
Well, yeah, no Mexican holiday.
Exactly. Tomorrow is
This is
American.
conference crunch
Oh
time.
crap.
Well, we'll have to talk about that one. I know it's terrible. I'm
Yeah.
hard. So
All right.
I
See you guys
think probably well.
next time.
I'll be here Monday. He might have set me up remotely. We'll
Yeah.
see.